talking about annuals. It gets hot here in Arkansas, of course, and you need blooms that can take the heat.
Yep, we're talking about sun varieties, and next week we're going to talk about shade because there's just too much to bring. So of course we get very hot here in the summertime, and some type of, like geraniums and things like that will kind of burn out as we get in the heat of summer. So I bought things that will thrive in the heat. First thing is, these are zinnias, but these are called profusion zinnias or Mexican zinnias. Awesome. I'm telling you, the hotter it is, the better they do.
Really?
They bloom all summer long, all the way into the fall. So when we have our cooler nights in the fall, they pop out again. So I mix them in my flower beds with all my other seasonal color. So they're a great filler.
I really like those.
I love those. I love the colors. This is begonia, but this is not the regular bronze leaf begonia. This is called Big Series or called Whopper. There's two different varieties.
Okay, I like the
and
name.
these get massive. They get about 18, 20 inches tall. So don't let them fool you. But the bronze leaf is what makes them do better in the heat. The green leaf are more for shade. So you got to watch that. People love periwinkle, but look at this. This is an orange vinca. Usually you see it in white and pink, so there's so many different colors. Angelonia or summer snapdragon, great if you want to add height. And then, of course, I bought mixed baskets. This is how I cheat. Cheating is not always bad. If you want to,
if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
You ain't. There you go. There you go. That's how I live. Now, here's how I cheat. If I'm doing my pots or such, I do hanging baskets in my pots. I don't mess with 4-inch plants, so they're instant and full. Because the fuller a flower pot is, it shades the soil, so the plants do better. Same thing in a flower bed. You can go ahead and just take a couple hanging baskets. Of course, take off the hangers, take them out of the pots, and plant them. They'll do great. Love this. Blue is a great color to have in the summer because it's a cool color.
What is this? This is
so pretty. Scaviola or fanflower. Loves the heat. Also comes in white and pink. And then this is lantana. Everybody loves lantana. For the last couple years, it has come back.
So gorgeous.
As a perennial, but maybe not this year since we had the Arctic blast. But I like to mix it with the green coleus, the lime green. This is a sun variety of coleus. See how it pops everything out?
It's popping.
Mix and match. And then this is a great combo. Canna lilies. Old-fashioned canna lilies have made a comeback, and that's because we've hybridized them, or someone has hybridized them, to become clumpers, not spreaders, because they used to take over a flower bed. This will get 5 foot high. And bloom all summer long with the burgundy foliage. And of course, everybody loves petunias. These are super petunias, not regular petunias, and they will bloom all the way until we have a freeze.
Why are they super?
Because they've been hybridized to self-clean, so they drop their flowers and they don't seed, so they bloom a lot longer and they run. And last but not least, a lot of people like impatiens, but we're talking about sun. So this is actually sun impatiens, which has the dark foliage, and I mixed it with some lava coleus, which is kind of a spreader. Now, one thing about sun coleus, I know it's called sun coleus, but if you have it in the afternoon sun, it really does burn. It's just too hot for it. It's a heavy drinker. So you want more.
This sounds a lot like me. Get me in the sun, I burn. Heavy drinker.
It is a lot like
I'm watching right now.
Sorry.
So you can relate to this plant. I like your style, by the way.
That's your twinsy.
Yeah, I need that one.
But I got one thing for you. I got a new secret weapon. If you want your seasonal color, whether it's sun or shade, to bloom awesome all summer long, I always talk about Miracle-Gro. I still like Miracle-Gro.
Yeah.
But I've been trying something new that we carry up.
You're so excited about this.
I am. This is like, can I say crack for plants? I mean, it is.
You said it.
I said it. It's too late. Well, you talk about your drinking now. This is called BR61. It's not a fancy name, but you mix it just like Miracle-Gro, and the middle number, if you see right there, is 58. That's the highest I've ever seen the middle number. That's phosphorus, which is blooming power.
You have a big brain to remember all
every
this stuff.
2 to 4 weeks, you will have. I mean, your neighbors will be jealous. Your pots will look that good.
Well, last week we talked about plants that can take the heat, and these plants are made more for shade. Am I right?
Correct. You know, a lot of us, whether you're doing your garden or these are really for container gardens, when we have a dark, shady area like a covered porch or something like that, well, shade flowering plants like your impatiens and your begonias, they need about 4 hours or 5 hours of sunshine to really bloom good for you. So if you plant them in a dark area on your front porch, they're going to grow, but they're not going to bloom. So what I do is I add plants that bring us lots of color, that take shade, that have color in their foliage. So tropical plants are the number one things that, for example, this is going on a job right after this in a front porch in the Heights that's
So
dark.
you will pot this?
I will pot. I did
You
this
will pot
for you,
this
Adam,
plant?
because you told me today was a special day.
Yeah.
So.
This is for potted plants.
We actually sell these at Botanica.
You do?
And
That's
they go
fun.
out like crazy.
I bet.
I don't get it.
It's a potted plant shirt.
Potted plant, sure. Anyhow, let's go on. But spathiphyllum peace lily, we think of as an indoor plant, but it's great in pots outside in shade. And then I'll mix with that other foliage plants, like this is a fatsia, it's the variegated. Love this plant. It looks like a miniature caladium, but this is nymphitis. It's a very easy to grow house plant, but great in pots. And I plant it as a filler in my flower beds because it spreads during the summertime. Remember, these are not winter hardy. But they're just seasonal colors. We treat them. And then we have different ferns are great to add in your containers in the shade. This is a bird nest fern, so I love that. I think that's great. And a lot of people think this is potato vine. But this is actually pothos, the old-fashioned pothos. This one's called neon, so it
I like
adds
that lighter color.
Yeah, mix this next to this in the pot.
Pretty.
See, it brings out that dark green. And of course, bromeliads, one of my favorite plants that I use all the time.
I love
Yes,
it.
well, it will last all summer outside in shade and give you great color. And we talk about April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So 8 months. You get that, keep that plant outside and keep always bringing it inside. And then there are things that tolerate shade like begonia. This is a beautiful begonia.
I feel like begonia, I feel like I've heard my mom say something about begonias
Well,
a million
begonias
times.
are like impatiens. They've been around forever, and they happen to be one of my favorite shade to semi-shade plants.
Yeah.
This is Richmond begonia, which is hard to find, but I have it grown for us, so it does really well. And then we do Corabel's heuchera. This is a great perennial. So remember what's a perennial mean?
It'll grow next year.
There you go.
Okay.
But you can do this in pots and you'll have it year after year because for the most part it's evergreen unless we have a cold winter. But we hemijang 3 different varieties together.
That means you mix them all together.
We mix them all together, and then don't forget to add blue in a shady area because it's really cool in the hot summer.
Okay.
This is Torina, which actually takes quite a bit of sun too.
So blue in a shady area.
It's shady, and it cascades down and softens the pot. It makes beautiful color.
Gorgeous.
Don't be shy. That's Chris H. Olsen's message. When it comes to color and your landscape, you've got a lot going on right here. And this is, you're saying we can do this at home. Like we can make our yard look like this.
You can buy this the way it is and make it easier on yourself.
Yes, yes.
It's hard to know where to start because these are seasonal colors. So these are annuals. We're going to have frost coming up in a
You
day
kind of
or
bitter
so.
about that?
I'm a little
During the
upset with
commercial
you
break, he
about
was giving
that.
me grief about it.
I was. But you can buy them now, put them in your garage, and then put them out right after. We should be okay. But remember, April 15th is historically the last day we have our frost.
That's right.
But let's talk about color. One of my favorite seasonal color for this spring and summer are begonias. And that's because they're so readily easy to grow and readily available.
When you say readily easy to grow,
Yeah.
like you think I could keep it alive?
I think you can do it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
These are in 12-inch pots, and here's how I do it. If you're doing your containers, you can take off the hanger and just drop this in the pot. You're done. Or great in flower beds. Now this is called a Richmond begonia. Nobody else has this but Botanica Gardens in Plantopia.
Oh.
I have it grown for us at our own greenhouses.
Oh, so this is exclusive.
This is exclusive,
Okay.
but it grows, and this will get like 30 inches tall, so don't let
really?
it fool you. And then what I also like to do, if you want to, add some color, is do mix pots. This has, for example, I have the big series red begonias, yellow lantana, and the blue scaviola. They all complement each other, but they thrive in the Arkansas heat.
Do you have them at your store already mixed like this?
We have them all ready to go. This is my hemijang line.
Hemingway.
So we custom grow a mixture of plants that love Arkansas weather.
Okay, that takes a special plant.
Takes a special plant. That's lots of color. Now, some people, they're more into the cool pastels and the white, so we also try to mix what we call plectranthus. This is variegated plectranthus. We have our white begonias, very elegant mixture, and it's great for a dark area because it brightens it up with the light colors of the flowers. Now, if you like it hot and spicy, that's the way I like it.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's one of my favorite seasonal color for the summertime, and this is an impatient. Most impatiens we think are shade. This is actually sun. This is called sun impatient. Now, let me tell you something. We mix 2 to 3 colors together with our lime coleus. Don't let this fool you. This guy is going to get this huge and this wide.
That's good.
All summer long.
All summer long, and it'll have these blooms and this color all summer long.
Constantly.
Okay.
Now, sometimes impatiens, when we get in the heat of summer, might slow down a little bit, but usually you have color and they're big flowers.
Heuchera.
Heuchera, you said it right. Heuchera.
Okay.
But the common name is called coral bells.
Coral bells.
So that's
Okay.
much easier than heuchera.
You know, I don't know a whole lot about heuchera or whatever.
Well,
that
here's
sounds like a saying. I don't know a lot about heuchera.
And heuchera are great because when you think of shade perennials, and this is a perennial plant for your shade garden, semi-shade to shade, what perennial do you normally think of for a shade garden?
I'm just, that, hostas.
That was my
Yeah,
Yeah,
hostas,
hostas.
hostas.
When we think of hostas, we think of ferns, but there's so many other possibilities out there. And one is the wonderful world of the coral bells of heuchera. Because if you want to add color, you know, if you're in shade, there's not a lot of blooming plants during the summertime that give you color, but they, flower-wise, but foliage-wise, yes.
Okay.
So I brought in all these different varieties of heuchera or coral bells, and I'll show you how to take care of them. I'm also going to show you how you do plant them. When I plant my heucheras, now they get the size of like a small hosta,
Okay.
so don't let the size of them fool you right now. They're usually almost evergreen except for if we have a really harsh winter, then they go down. But when they come up, they're beautiful with all that new foliage, and there's all different colors. You can do dark purples. We have, this one is called apple pie.
Oh.
And this one is called Coca Mint.
Fun
This one's
names.
called Solar Flare. Look at the
like
vibrancy
this
of those.
one.
This is beautiful. And the thing about coral bells is they also do bloom. They come up with spikes. The real coral bell, which is the green leaf variety, has that's where it gets its name, is a coral flower that looks like a little bell.
Okay, I was waiting for the bell part. I was actually going to
Yes,
ask
the
you.
flowers look like an upside down
I've
bell.
seen those before. Okay.
Now when these bloom, most of the new varieties are kind of white. They're not really the coral anymore, so that's why we don't really call them coral bells. But what I love about these is they're easy to grow just like a hosta, except for you need a couple things. You need good drainage.
Okay.
So add lots of good organic material into your soil, berm it up, and then plant in 3s to 5s to get better impact. But to make it easy on yourself, you know, we have our hemajang line, which is the art of mixing it up. I mixed up 3 different colors together already for you. If you mix 3 colors of heucheras together, you get the most visual impact. This is key lime pie, peach malva, and then we have our purple color as well. And they'll grow as one huge clump.
Oh,
and
I
don't
love that.
forget, you can use them in pots as well.
Oh, that is awesome. Okay, so it has this little bell.
A little
bell
bell flower,
flowers.
but it's really the foliage.
So when do the bell flowers bloom?
About mid-spring.
Okay.
They'll come up and bloom, and then when they're done, you cut them off, and then you have the foliage the rest of the
And
seasons.
this is gorgeous too. I love the different kinds you have in the
Yeah.
name. Key lime pie. I need a little
Key lime, I
pie.
like some key lime pie.
That's right. Sit on your deck, eat your key lime pie as you look
While you look
out.
at your heucheras.
That's right.
Smells
Today.
good, doesn't it?
Yeah, is that you?
And it's
Let me-
not you.
Whoa.
I'm definitely not him. So what did you bring today?
Well, I'm making kind of an adult version of a Easter basket, and so
This
what
okay
I
for
did,
kids, too?
yeah.
Okay.
So this is fun thing. So these we're gonna make our bath bombs,
Oh, nice.
which you can make either Easter egg shape or round spheres if you'd like, and then
Right.
we're also gonna make these bunnies. Look at these.
This is so
and they're full of
cute.
lavender and other fragrances.
Is this like
Oh, wow.
catnip for adults?
It's catnips for adults, exactly right.
Smells good.
So I'm going to show you how to do it.
good.
So first we'll start
All right.
with the little bunnies, which is a fairly easy project. This is even kids can get involved
Yeah.
with to a certain degree. First thing is you cut out your cardboard, your little rabbit
Right.
template, and then you're going to go ahead and draw that
On a piece of fabric?
a piece of fabric, which is upside down.
Okay.
Okay, on both sides.
I'm
And
gonna
then-
fail at this.
well,
There's a
this
needle
might
and
not be
thread.
a project for you.
No, I couldn't.
And then, of course, you're going to sew it, and you're going to sew all around it except for the bottom, because that's how we're going to stuff it.
It's like making a pillowcase back in.
It's exactly what it is. And then you turn it inside out, and then when you turn your bunny upside down, you're going to go ahead and take, like I'm using, you always want to mix any dried herbs, like this is mint, with rice.
Okay.
Because that way it doesn't
Keeps it
cake
dry.
and keeps it dry. Then if you want to put essential oils in it as well to make it for fragrance, you can. You just fill it up, you fold it, and you sew it shut, and you put some ribbon around it, and you have a little
Cute.
Easter bunny.
That is so interesting. We actually have some neck wraps that are filled with
Well,
like rice, and they
yes,
smell really good.
exactly.
I bet that's what it is.
Exactly, almost the same exact thing.
You put it in the microwave.
Those
So
are
I
really
could put this
cute.
on- yeah, it feels
and
really good.
You can put it in your drawers, your car,
gosh.
and all that type of thing. And then we're going to make our little soap bombs, and they're pretty easy. And we have, I gave them some, I don't know if they have our ingredients, there they are. So you're going to take 1 cup of your citric acid, because that's what gives it the fizz. And then you're going to go ahead 1 cup of cornstarch, 1 cup of Epsom salts, and 2 cups of baking soda. And then then about 2 tablespoons of water. You have to watch the water because if you put too much in, it doesn't hold together.
Right.
And then about coconut oil. And what I did is I kind of pre-mixed everything in the bowl except for my coconut oil. Now, if you're going to do coconut oil, this usually is in a paste form. So I just put this in the microwave for a short period of time to do that.
Okay.
I drop that in there, and then a few little bit of water, and you only need just a little bit of water. This sets about 2 hours, so if you wait too long after 2 hours, you can't do it. You mix it all together. You can see it kind of bubbling.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much water. Once you get it going, then you can take it and cake it together in spheres, or if you want to fill an Easter egg, you just got to make sure you coat it first with cornstarch, otherwise it sticks.
Okay.
Fold it in, and you get those.
Well, how did you make it with these pretty colors?
Okay, you take, once you mix this up, that's a good question. Once you mix it up, you're going to go ahead and take this and put it in individual cups, like a big solo cup, and just add some soap dye, not food coloring. You can buy all of this like a Hobby Lobby. Put a couple drops, whatever color you want,
dye.
mix it in, and then you get
This
your
is
colors.
pretty.
And then it's like Play-Doh. You just mix the different color Play-Dohs together and form your own shape.
And you
fun.
put your own essential oils in it? Is that what you're doing?
You can put essential oils as well. Sometimes you can get your Epsom salts, which are they have a fragrance in them.
Some of them
This is
smell.
fragrant free and such. And so you pick any fragrant you want, anything that maybe she likes, and that type of thing. And you can have a lot of fun with this project.
Like that. All right, this is really neat. This is such a great.
I was like, got it.
Yeah, you're gonna do that, aren't you? You're gonna go home and make these today?
No.
This is like you love to cook.
I-
This is the same thing.
Yeah.
This isn't any different. You
That's
can
more
bake-
like baking. This is hard when you got to mix stuff.
you bake biscuits. You can bake this out
See,
of.
I'm more of a baker than a cooker. I
Gotcha.
like to bake.
You brought a nice mix of vegetation.
I brought some sunshine, and sunshine it's also color. So right now all of us we just want to get into our yards, but we're not quite sure. We're still going to have another frost, etc. So here's some hope. Geraniums. You can go ahead and put geraniums right now, especially if they're on a covered porch, because even if we get a frost, if it doesn't lie on them, they'll be just fine. Now, they won't be good if it goes down in the 20s.
Right.
But in the 30s, you're A-okay. So I brought you some different types of geraniums. Now, Adam, I'm going to put you to the test.
Oh, no.
Okay?
It's been a long time since FFA, okay?
Of the 3 colors here, first of all, what's your favorite? That's an easy one. And 2, what is the most popular color in a geranium?
My favorite is this right here.
Isn't that beautiful?
And what was your second question?
And what do you think is the most popular color in a geranium?
Purple.
White.
White.
I don't know. I'm
Red.
just throwing out stuff. You didn't
red.
even ask me.
Red is the #1
I like the
color.
red a
Everyone
lot.
still loves the red, but I love the orange.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the
Kind
orange
of a
is really
coral.
cool. Yes, and here's the great thing about geraniums is they are a cool season plant for this time of year, but they also, if they're in a semi-shady area like you were talking about your front porch,
It gets a lot of sun in the morning, though.
that's
Is that
fine.
okay?
Morning sun is great. Afternoon shade is great because then they'll last during the summertime. It won't burn out.
Okay, so this is what I need.
This is what you need. Now, you see these are in hanging baskets, which doesn't necessarily mean they're designed just to hang. They're designed to carry them without breaking them.
So you can
That's
take
why
this
it is.
off.
Yep, so what I do is this is our hemorrhaging line. This is our mix it up. So we have with the geranium, we have our coleus, which is
Yes.
called lava.
That is
We have our
gorgeous.
euphorbia, and here's the great thing. So if in the heat of summertime, your geraniums start to slow down in blooming because they don't like real hot, but they'll live, they won't bloom as much, all this will fill in. So here's what I do at home. I cheat. This is a 12-inch basket, which
Okay.
means it's bigger than the one you have there.
Right.
And then all I do is you can take the hanger off, of course, and then I put a saucer, and then I put this low bowl, drop it in, and just you're done.
Pretty.
All summer
it.
long. Now, the key to making geraniums bloom a long time is fertilizing.
Okay.
Now, a lot of us think that's hard, but if you fertilize every 4 to 6 weeks, that's it. Once you do that, I swear, okay, so last year on my front porch at the farm, I did the same pots, and I did about 6 of these geraniums. I fertilized them every 3 weeks for myself. I just do it Sunday morning, and they grew so huge and massive. It was absolutely amazing. Then in August, when they looked bad, I just plucked it out and dropped a new hanging basket of something else in
Do you
there.
think people overwater?
They can't eat. Yes, the problem is once you overwater a plant, it never comes back. If it dries out, you have better chances of it coming back.
It's hard. I can't. They're like overwater. Don't water enough. Fertilize. fertilize. I would never fertilize.
yeah,
There's no way.
Geraniums, here's a good plant for you. Here you go.
Yeah, is that a fake one?
This is a fake one.
Give me that.
I mean, it's not
It looks real.
So if you doubt yourself, there are artificial ones out there.
I wish I was my mom is so good at this.
It's reading plants. Put yourself on a routine. I water now the summertime they drink a lot of water. I water every 2 days.
Okay. Well,
Perfect.
Set a
Chris H.
reminder on
Olsen.
your phone.
His information was up on the screen just now.
Sorry, we went to.
No, it's all
No,
good.
no.
We love when you come in. Great information. Go out there and check him out.